Steve has a pep in his step this morning, that's for sure. I don't know if you noticed, but my microphone's been overmodulating last couple days, so I'm going to use the left microphone. Hopefully it's not overmodulating. And you know who's always overmodulating and always has a pep in his step? That's T-Rex! We're dragging Steve out the door. We all have a pep in our step because it's kind of chilly outside. 64 degrees, felt colder in the room when it was raining and the wind was blowing through the windows this morning. 9 o'clock on August 20. The barometer 29.73, that's low, and it's on the rise, but it's going to be a slow rise. The tide is low. We're just past that full moon yesterday, so the tide is high at noon and at midnight. So that's great if you want to go surfing at sunrise and sunset. And this is day 4. Ernesto Swell. There's cinnamon rainbows. This morning, just past sunrise, with a rain shower on the way. Many surfers out there catching about a 3 to 4 foot swell with about a 12 to 14 second period. So the swell is pretty much done at the south coast, and now it's more for New Hampshire and Maine as the storm races away. So this swell from Ernesto actually was generated about 2 or 3 days ago as Ernesto was going by Bermuda. And as storms come at you, the swell builds, and now as the storm goes away, it was still a Category 1 this morning southeast of Newfoundland, moving away. So I think this is the last day of Ernesto's swell. This morning we woke up to rain coming in the windows, sideways. Look at the wind from the west. It's the first day with a wind not from the east or southeast in about a week. And there goes our rain shower right up over Hampton Beach, where those surf riders are in the water this morning. And I don't know how much we got. We'll check the rain gauge in a minute, but it is assuredly a much cooler day. And there's some record low temperatures happening in the United States right now. Early in the morning, it was record low from the Michigan Upper Peninsula to Florida. Michigan was 39. Elgin, Florida was in the 60s. And then an hour or two later, California joined the mix. And Mammoth Lakes, California, get down to 35 degrees this morning. Unseasonably cool air mass moving into both the west and the east. But in New England, it's not going to be an easy chore because the front is kind of stalling over us and we have an upper level low. Before we get to that, how about the rainbows lately? Yesterday, after a thunderstorm, we had a rainbow on the beach there in Nantasket. And then this morning, Joe Kidston, who's usually at Nantasket, I'm not sure where you were, but he had a rainbow in the west. See, the rainbow's on the opposite side of the sky of the sun. So when the sun comes up in the east and it's raining to your west, you get a rainbow over there, and then as the sun goes down, you get your rainbow over there. So that's how that works. And I live on the north side of the as for the moon, so many shots of the moon. I did manage to see the moon briefly up there last night, and it's called not only a supermoon because it's closer to the Earth, and it's called a blue moon. Why? Because it's weird. It's the third moon of a season that has 4 moons. So a season is 3 months. So if you get 4 moons in 3 months, it's confusing. Not sure why. Time and date. That website had that paragraph on it. You can look at that. Oh yeah, well, we're talking about almanac type stuff. Everyone's talking about the Farmer's Almanac. Brendan texted me this morning calling for powder in the 3rd week of January. Yeah, old Farmer's Almanac. It's always wrong. All right, wrong. But anyhow, there's always powder the 3rd week of January. And ink me in. I'll be there somewhere between probably Maine, Vermont, California, Utah. Somewhere we'll have powder. Here it's been a good season in the southern hemisphere. It almost feels like it could be cold enough for snow in the next couple of days. The evolution of the weather here in New England is pretty challenging. The surface map this morning has about 1,002 millibar low down east Maine with a cold front extending just across Cape Cod, and a 1025 high pressure system with a record cold centered well to our west. And it's going to take some time for that high barometer to get in here. When you get a high barometer, That means the colder air is down near the ground, especially at night. That's why you had those record cold, low temperatures out there. And then during the day, it's beautiful with sunshine and much warmer. But when you're in low barometer cold, which is the case in New England, the colder air is up in the sky, and you get instability, clouds, and showers. So we're going to have mostly cloudy weather continuing here for the next couple of days, but hopefully without flooding rain. In the last 24 hours, another dose of flooding rain occurred in a random array. A few in western New York. Albany, New York had some flash flooding. Tuftonboro in New Hampshire near Lake Winnipesaukee had some flash flooding. And also Martha's Vineyard had some flash flooding yesterday morning. Here's the rainfall amount. Martha's Vineyard, 3+ inches of rain, kind of some leftovers from that Sunday flooding, and also the front that was moving in from the west. And that high pressure system that was off to the east we talked about contributing to the flooding rains across New York and New Jersey, because we had some cold air damming and the warm humid air ran up over the top of that cold air, and just so many things went wrong for residents in Connecticut and Long Island, and heartbreaking. Jack got this video of someone's home crashing into the 5 Mile River in Oxford, Connecticut. That is just gut-wrenching, heartbreaking. One day you're living the life, whatever life, you never know what other people, their life is like, but to have a whole history and house fall into the water on such short notice, it's devastating. Chris Lewis also driving around. Chris, we met on the ski lift last winter, really nice guy, fun, do anything, and his whole community devastated. Oxford, Connecticut area, Monroe, all that. And so this cleanup is going to take a long time. Maybe we get some weather that's kinder and gentler, but there is this upper level low coming at New England. So let's go to the HRRR. Those red lines, those are the upper level thicknesses going down 552, 546. Black lines are isobars, little low pressure system redeveloping across New England tonight and tomorrow with these showers and thunderstorms kind of circling counterclockwise, centered first over New York, then Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine over the next 36 hours. The freezing level is much lower, so likely there'll be some hail over the lakes, maybe even Lake Champlain. We may get some water spouts due to the instability, warm water, cold air type situation. But the dew points are lower. So hopefully that means the precipitation amounts are going to be lower, and these systems will maybe not sit over one town drenching them. QPF-wise, you can see the counterclockwise spin, the rainfall. This is adding up how much rain. And once you get past the sort of the blue-white area, that's between 1/2 inch and 1 inch. So a few spots at the higher elevations between 1/2 inch and 1 inch, and a few purples, mostly up towards Canada, northern Maine, could come in with 2 to 3 inches. So we may avoid flash flooding here. Should be interesting sky watching though, with this low barometer cold, as I call it, stuck over us the next 2 days. So the next dry day for New England has now been rescheduled for Saturday. Here's the Boston 5-day meteogram based on the Euro. Trying to get out of the wind. Temperature today just barely crossing 70. A lot of instability, clouds, a few showers. The wind is out of the west until further notice. That's good news. Nighttime lows in the 50s. And once it goes calm and we get into the high barometer in a few days, lows in the north are going to be in the 30s and 40s, but in Boston, points south, 50s to near 60. Comfortable weather. And then we warm back up into the lower 80s. By the weekend, dew point comes back up out of the 50s into the 60s. Does show one raindrop for tomorrow, but otherwise most of southern New England, especially near the coast, should be dry. And breaking news, look at that. There's no smoke in the sky. That's total clean blue air, blue sky air from eastern Canada. We've broke the chain of smoke here. May come back to our sky a little bit, but this is nice for a change to have real blue sky. And by the way, what kind of clouds are those? That's a cumulonimbus way out there with the planes landing toward the west, yay. And cumulonimbus means it's raining. And then you got your altocumulus, mid-level instability. It looks like there's some stratocumulus, some of the fog clouds. And what else? Little mackerel sky, mackerel sky. wet weather. How does it go? Mackerel sky, not 24 hours dry. That's what that means. Although I think in Boston we are mostly dry today. All right, let's go to the Euro. Come on, stop beating around the bush. You want to miss bush. And go to the Euro day by day. We're all looking forward to what the weather's going to be on Long Island on Sunday. And Fresh Air Fanatic, haven't heard from you. I hope your venue survived. Here it is, the upper level low here over the northeast with the 10-12 millibar low pressure system. We're surrounded by high pressure to the north, the west, and the south, and gradually those showers diminish tomorrow night. And then on Friday, it looks like the showers and storms are just over northern Maine and going away. And we are getting into the high barometer. That means we may have some record challenging low temperatures here by Saturday morning, but we're on the rebound by afternoon, back up to near 80 degrees. And then let's go into Sunday. It's changed again. We're going to stop it here 2 p.m. Sunday. Looks a little bit more like it did a few days ago with a 1022 high to the north, trying to push air in from the north. A 1025 nice late August high pressure system to the south, trying to push air in from the south. And the boundary has returned with some showers across Quebec into northern Maine. So there is a front over us. And the 564 is still north, but it's further to the west in the north, so that upper level low kind of dragging its heels or trying to retrograde a little bit in southeastern Canada. And then the 570 line is still to our west and south, so that would indicate temperatures mostly in the 80s by afternoon with a possible sea breeze, but those two lines right over Long Island indicate more of a west wind. So I'm still going with 83 degrees with partly to mostly sunny skies. And a big difference over the Great Lakes and central Canada. A few days ago, there was a 990 low near James Bay, at the southern end of Hudson Bay, but now that's gone. And there's a 1,007 millibar low closer to North Dakota. So these things change every day. That's a huge change if you're forecasting for Ontario. And now we put it back into motion. That low that's in North Dakota does strengthen and moves up towards James Bay. And so next Monday, Tuesday, looks like nice and warm around here. Temperatures in the 80s with mostly quiet weather. The hurricane season pretty much shut down now until further notice. And then late in the period, the very last day there, what's that? Late Thursday, August 27th. Freeze that one, and that has a strong low moving across Ontario with a sharp cold front coming across New York into Pennsylvania. Another big cool air mass aimed at the Midwest, and that front on our doorstep would be showers and thunderstorms here as we head toward Labor Day weekend. And of course this is subject to change, but that would indicate cooler weather trying to come at us, perhaps with some wet weather to kick off Labor Day weekend. And this is all speculative, very low confidence way out there. This is going to change every day, but we're going to keep our eye on it. It's a huge weekend for me too and my friends. Labor Day weekend in Wellfleet this year, and almost every year. The Boston 15-day, it shows that wave of warmth coming at us, then kind of getting dented late next week. But across the bottom there, it shows nothing but dry days for Boston until September. What is that? 2nd or 3rd? The last day's way out there. I think, let's see, September 1st is a Sunday. Labor Day is a September 2nd way out there. It does get a little cooler. Look how blue the sky has just turned right before our very eyes. All right, yesterday I did a lot of now casting. What's now casting? That's when you look out the window and say, what's it doing now? Because that's much more accurate than forecasting is when you try and think what it's going to do, not only in 6 hours, but a day or 2 days. So we're doing now casting yesterday back to the beach where it was a downpour right over us, and we ended up with a rainbow and great evening surf. I still want to do more in-depth surf casts for all my friends I've been making out there. And look at this rose in bloom. I got to cut off the old ones. We'll have another bloom of roses in September. How much rain? I had a downpour yesterday late in the day and then another one this morning, and all that added up to just 0.18. So grateful, no damage here, and the grass is green, and the pumpkin season has arrived. Look at these baby pumpkins, but something's eating the top of them. Oh yeah, I talked about a girl pumpkin flower. Well, this is a girl pumpkin flower. There it is right there. Now I don't have a boy pumpkin flower to show you the difference, but anyhow. Oh, look at all these pumpkins. Wow. Those are tomatoes and those are pumpkins. But something's eating all the leaves. There's a boy. There's a boy pumpkin flower. Gonna unearth my teeth and show you the difference between a boy pumpkin flower and a girl pumpkin flower. You ready? This is kind of rated PG-13 now. That's a boy pumpkin flower. Come on, focus camera. And that's a girl pumpkin flower. And you can help pollinate your plants if the bees don't do it. But mostly the bees take care of it. So boy on the left, girl on the right. Okay, 15 minutes. Are you serious, Tim? Get to the end more. It's a few hours later, but pretty much almost the exact same thing that happened yesterday. There was nothing on the radar. The sun was trying to come out. I got my board on the car. I had to switch boards, by the way, because I dropped my other one on the ground. And a rain shower just popped up over Braintree, moving into Weymouth. Does this look familiar? Fat raindrops, but today's board matches. We've got a slug. Okay, now I can't windshield wiper a slug. Just can't do it. Where'd he come from? Off my board, probably. What do you do when you find a slug? Here, crow, here, crow. Crow chow. Why don't you eat my flowers? All right. Where were we? Oh, yes. Driving into the rain shower that did not even exist 15 minutes ago. You may have noticed me using the word nowcast this morning or recently. Nowcast is what's happening right now, because you can't sometimes do the forecast. And the forecast is a dark cloud in the next 15 minutes. New Hingham Police Fire Department, I think. And now the raindrops are getting fatter as we go by the Hingham shipyard. Now it's time for Live at 5. It's good to have Chuck Nolan back. 77 degrees. We don't care about live in concert from Saturday Night Replays, Chuck, please. Oh yeah, I always want to hear Sammy Hagar.
On June 7th, 2002. But we're going to get started with Foghat. This is when they played the Roseland Theater in Portland, Oregon on October 26, 1996.
Met them backstage once or twice in the good old days. How much Foghat can I lift without getting a copyright infringement? Wow. Cloud barely existed when I was putting the board on the car. And now it's watering the lawns of Hingham. Maybe after it goes by, the sun comes out at the beach. Slow ride. Not in a hurry Monday. Taking it easy. Might we get a rainbow? Now it's 1 minute later than it was a minute ago. Alright, so this is what a quarter inch of rain can do. How about 10 inches of rain yesterday in Connecticut, New York? Can't believe it, I just looked at the radar. It's now a solid training storm from south-southwest to north-northeast. The heaviest rain in eastern New England. It's right at our favorite surf break. The side of Cape Cod and Nantucket anyway. Deja vu. Except for that sky over there. Oh my goodness. And the radar. All walkers are gonna walk regardless. No T-Rexes on the beach. Chris. Surfer in a wetsuit with an umbrella. It's different. That's Ross. Oh, they're blowing the whistle. We're not allowed in the water when there's thunder around. Yeah, right. These guys are going home in a few minutes. It's Live at 5. Time for you guys to go home. That person's just kind of standing there trying to get that surfer in. Go out there and get him. I'm gonna get a copyright for this, but I like it. Sammy's like, I can't drive 55. Oh, there's one of the parents trying to help out the guards get the kids in off the water. Here's the crew. This too shall pass. Now it's 5:20. Just about to the backside, I think. Fattest drops sometimes are right on the backside. There's the sun. Where's the rainbow? There's Laura. Rainbow watch in effect. Just the birds on the beach now. There's a bunch of us in our car just getting ready to go back out. Rolling Wave Foundation. Cool name. It looks like two clouds making out, doesn't it? All right, well, this should get really interesting now. Let's see if we can find any rainbows. All right, now it's 5:25, and there it is. The rainbow is here. Kind of faint, but it's a full bow. So we're giving the play-by-play here to the surf riders, and that's blue sky right there. And on the radar, just to the east of Cohasset, there's purple. Purple used to be the color for tornado. So there's a chance, slight chance there's a water spout out there. But we're going back in. Haven't heard lightning in a while, and I don't know where the guards are, but hopefully off duty for the day. Gull is pointed toward the south. So now it's 5:30. The air is coming from the south. Finally, the first time we've had anything other than an easterly component in days. The front's over us. Storm has just ended. Fantastic cloud formations. And riders headed back for the water. Surfing under the rainbow. That's the cleanest blue sky we've seen in a while. Smoke-free blue sky and a rainbow and surfers. Pays to leave the house sometimes. Let's make a time lapse. Wow, you can even see it reflecting on the ground there. Subtle double. Waves, light waves. Yesterday I mentioned most waves are from gravity. Well, there's also light waves. When's the last time we had a smoke-free blue sky? Pretty nice to have a blue sky without any smoke in it, right? Day 3 of the Ernesto Swell with a rainbow. Thunder is gone. Everyone's going back into the water. This is called the Nowcast. So yesterday I'm on the beach and I'm getting off the beach and somebody says to me, it's gonna be better tomorrow.
That was me.
And I said, no, it's not.
Can I see the word shit? Shit on the forecast?
You were right, I was wrong.
Odin, how was it?
Better today than yesterday?
But
Same?
it's good. Pretty
Well, it's
damn good.
offshore a little bit.
Thunderstorm,
It's nice to not have an easterly component to the wind for a change, and it's warmer.
I love it.
Probably be fun to have another time lapse at this point. I actually lost track of the time. 6 something maybe. But it looks like that cloud's going to interfere. So we'll just get some surfers and wrap up our first surf cast since the longboard competition back there in June. All the same people. Hang 10. Nose rider. All right, TK's going home. That's a wrap. Second day in a row of surfing. Really glad I waited out that rain and got over here. It's a beautiful evening. As we approach September though, the sun's going down way too early. I'm not done with these clouds yet either.
updated our radar in a while, but right now, we've got a little south-southwesterly component, and it's a beautiful evening at the water. Why don't we call this a wrap, both for the Surfcast and the Out the Door Weather and More time-lapse of today. Captain Spacetime. See you at the shore. Carol making it look easy.